Hello, I wasn't sure once again what I was going to discuss on the video this week, and then it came to me. It came to me in a double whammy over the weekend because I've been involved in some frustrating conversations and I also went to see Halloween Kills. So, first of all, the frustrating conversations. All art is subjective. I think we can agree on that. Opinions are subjective. See no problem with that view either, because it's correct. Art, however, is made up of objective elements. So your subjective opinion should still factor in those elements. This all came about because there was a conversation about Jaws, okay? Now, Jaws is, I'm biased, it's my favourite movie of all time. I love Jaws. I can recognise imperfections in Jaws, you know, with the mechanics of Bruce the Shark and all that, but I still love it. I love it. I think it's generally a perfect film with some minor flaws. Someone was saying, you know, they didn't rate it as highly as other people. That's absolutely fine. They didn't see why it scared so many. It never got to them. All of these things are their opinion. They're perfectly entitled to them. They also said that with none of that working for them, they also disliked the fact that it had no subplots. Hold up. Jaws has subplots. It has other things going on, whether it's the battle to keep the beaches open, which becomes this tussle between commerce and safety, which is quite relevant at the moment. Whether it's showing the different ways that characters can show levels of courage / stupidity, kind of what it takes to be acting like a conceived macho man amongst other males in your company. You know, these are things off the top of my head that I think are going on in Jaws. I don't think, I mean, I know, but I think make up enough to show that it's not just a shark attacking an area and people chasing a shark. Mark Kermode famously keeps saying Jaws is not about the shark, and I get his point, although it's mostly about a shark. But it did really highlight that in the same way that I've argued about people not being entitled to their opinion because people are entitled to their own informed opinion, you have to accept objective elements in things you're discussing subjectively. You can say, I hate Jaws. For me, it's one of the worst films I've ever sat through in my life. I will not like that view, but you are perfectly entitled to that view. And if you've just seen a high caliber of movies and Jaws is the one that really didn't work for you and you thought the shark looked awful and there was not enough bloodshed or maybe too much bloodshed and, you know, you just didn't like it, for you, that's the worst movie you've seen. You're absolutely entitled to that opinion, and it is your opinion. If you say, I hate Jaws, it's the worst film I've seen in my life, and, you know, I hate the fact that there are no subplots in it, it's just a shark attacking people and people chasing a shark, you're still entitled to your opinion. Part of that is incorrect. Take this film that we discussed on the show a couple of weeks ago, A Tale of Two Sisters. I love A Tale of Two Sisters. I think it looks beautiful. I think it has chills. I think it's a wonderful story. If you agree with me, well done you. If you disagree with me, that's absolutely fine. But you can't say, well, A Tale of Two Sisters is terrible. I was really disappointed. I like my horror movies to have a couple of twists and turns, because it has twists and turns in it. So your subjective opinion is missing a couple of objective elements. Okay, I'll put down the Tale of Two Sisters now. You can't say, you know, I hate Ferraris because they never have the same wheel formation as Volvos. That would just be incorrect, because, you know, cars have 4 wheels running. You can say you hate Ferraris if you want to. You can say you hate any car, but say you hate a car because it doesn't have the same wheel formation as the others. Generally, you know, we can all hate Robin Reliance unless they're in Only Fools and Horses. Then, do you see where I'm coming from with that? Do you know what I mean, what I'm getting at? It's an interesting element that's come up a lot lately, again, with people who are absolutely entitled to any opinion they want to have. Everyone is. It doesn't matter if you're upset by it. If someone hates the original Halloween, if someone hates Jaws, if someone, you know, hates any iteration of Candyman, if someone thinks Freddy Got Fingered is their favourite movie of all time, all of those opinions are absolutely valid and what people are entitled to, because art is subjective and your opinions are affected by so much. But there are objective elements in there. There are. So I'm glad I've taken this moment to get off my chest. Now, interestingly enough, I'm going to give my subjective opinion on Halloween Kills, the latest installment in the franchise. And I will say, first of all, Tyler is a big fan of Halloween Kills. So I think we may discuss it a bit on the podcast next week, I'm not sure. But Tyler is a big fan. He loved it. So there's one of us who loved it. Dave, not so much. I am on Team Dave. I'm not saying this to be controversial or with a hot take. I do think Halloween Kills is the worst Halloween movie in the entire series. Bear with me. Tell to my opinion. Now, a lot of you are saying Halloween 4, Halloween 5, Halloween 6, Halloween Resurrection, Kevin, and you'd be correct to be throwing out those titles for a variety of reasons. I wasn't a big fan of Halloween, the 2018 reboot. Halloween Kills continues doing a lot of things wrong that the 2018 film did. It's tricky territory to navigate through the history of Halloween. So what they decided to do with the 2018 film was say, we're only recognising the first film and we will continue on from there. That's what they want to do. That's okay. But then they start to pop in little references here and there for fans. Fans will like this one. Fans will recognise this. Oh, remember in the installment where this happened? Fans will like that. So they did that. Not as much as, you know, they could have, but it's become apparent now that they were saving all the rest for Halloween Kills, which is littered with little references to installments from a timeline that they have gone out of their way to erase. So that annoys me, first of all. I just think, you know, choose your lane. Don't keep trying to have your cake and eat it. But yet, fans really respond to that. So that's proving their point that what they're doing for a lot of people is right. So it's just something that irks me, maybe more than most. But that's one thing. Secondly, I'm trying to stay a bit vague here. Bear with me. But let's just say Halloween Kills sidelines Jamie Lee Curtis for a lot of the movie. And that, to me, feels very much like an Alien movie that sidelines Ripley. as a character. So you have the character there that everyone wants to see in the thick of the action. Taking them away from that, again, it doesn't really work. The kills are good. In case I haven't said that enough, the kills I really enjoyed. There were great death scenes in Halloween Kills. The two biggest problems, however, are being too beholden to the original, or pretending to be too beholden to the original in a way that really just allows them to, again, buy more goodwill from fans. The characters of Tommy and I think it's Lindsay are back in this one. One played by a different actor. They're not well used. It feels like a cheap way to do it. You know, I preferred Tommy personally when he was Paul Rudd, and seeing how that character had been affected years later, I didn't like that. And then the sort of, you know, they throw everyone in there. It's everyone. Remember these people. Remember this person. Remember when they said this. It's constant jogging of your memory. Say, oh, this line was said. Remember when it was said before. They show a clip of the original when Michael escaped from the sanitarium, just so that you will know they're repeating a shot when he attacks a car full of people later on. That to me feels like quite lazy filmmaking. And there is use of, this may be spoilery, so go ahead 30 to 60 seconds if you like. There is use of footage of, claimed footage of Doc Loomis, and it's really badly done. It doesn't match in terms of, the looks pretty good. The voice didn't sound like a match to me, so it takes you out of it. Took me out of it anyway. Feels a bit disrespectful to me. I would rather they left that character behind. There was no need for it. Again, it's laziness. There are ways around these things. There are workarounds. You do this because you can, is how we ended up with Jurassic Park going mad. You know, stop to think about whether you should, whether you have to. It just sucks. A lot of the footage in this film that is purporting to show the original Halloween night and the aftermath of the rampage is really bad. It seems unnecessary. It definitely pads this out so they can have enough to make this a middle part of a trilogy. Then you have the oft repeated evil dies tonight, which, again, it's symptomatic of a lazy script. It's a repeated slogan that's about as lazy as any three-word slogan we've heard over the past year or two. You get, once again, someone that the people think is Michael Myers who isn't. Is that 4 times now? Maybe 5? You get sound bites rather than dialogue. You get the silliest and most, I don't know where to say it's naive. The character motivations are just awful. The characters talk and move in a way that is designed for them to eventually split off one by one, because obviously they have the sense to know the damage that Michael Myers did before, so they have the sense to know that you should all separate and put yourself in vulnerable positions where Michael Myers can get you. It's appalling. like without the excuse of just having any other gimmick to work in for an installment. This is why I controversially will even prefer Halloween Resurrection to this. Halloween Resurrection had the gimmick at the start, was using the tech to try and give it something a little bit different in the style, and then, you know, it was just being silly, but was working in what it intended to do. Halloween Kills intends to do something very different, and it only works when it's doing something that's the same but better than the previous installments, and that is all the kills. There are no characters worth rooting for. The granddaughter of Jamie Lee Curtis's character is terrible. Judy Greer is awesome, but should have been in the third act to see Michael Myers and say, "You killed my husband, say goodbye to these." That would have worked better for me. But characters are just treated so badly. I think the franchise is kind of treated badly by the people who've written and directed this, who just know where they can score easy points and get fans on board and make some money. It's a massive disappointment for me. I had my expectations low after the previous outing. This did not meet those expectations. I'll still watch the next final installment and see. A lot of other people have loved this. You know, good for them. Good for you guys. It's gone down well with a lot of people. I think I don't see there being much middle ground. I think there's a love or hate quality to this because of the direction they've taken and what they've done. And I'm sorry to say that I'm on the hate side. Probably be a 4 out of 10 for me, because kills aside, although they are part of the film, it doesn't even manage to be average in terms of entertainment factor, you know, the script and the story arc and just everything coming together. So that's a shame, but at least we have it in time for Halloween this year. So see it for yourself, make your own mind up. Feel free to comment and tell me why you disagree with me and what you think, or if you agree with me, because as I said at the very beginning, everyone is entitled to their opinion, you know, and I'm not going to stand here and say that Halloween Kills is the worst Halloween film because, let's say, you know, The Mask is the worst or the kills are the worst. There's no, those are good things in it, but for me, it's the worst of the series. It just did things that didn't sit right with me throughout, and you know, that's a real shame. I'll just have to see if they turn things around for the installment that we're getting next year. Anyway, we will see you next week, where I'll probably be discussing quite a load of Child's Play movies, because it's going to be Child's Play fortnight.